Hiya friends, Prepared Suburbanite here. I I just got my hair cut at the local barber shop. Been going there for a while, and they're kind of an old-fashioned, really deal with the service aspects of giving a man a haircut. And the folks there are very professional. They're very nice. They will chat with you if you want to. They will be quiet if you don't want to chat. But the thing that I really enjoy about it is that it takes me back to earlier days where customer service and pleasing the customer is really kind of all about it. The thing that I really liked about it was after you get your hair cut and you're all done with that, they take the time to lather up from a lather machine, and they do the back of your neck with a straight razor, and it gets it all nice and smooth and clean back there. And then when they're done with that, they get the hot towel out. It's about a washcloth size, maybe a little bit bigger, and it's warm. Oh, it's beautiful. And they put that on the back, and they will rub the back of your neck and clean all the stuff off and get the little hairs out of the back of your neck, and they just leave it on there and massage your neck. Oh, it's just absolutely wonderful. And then on top of that, they will treat the shaved area along the back of your neck and around your ear with a scented witch hazel. And it's an astringent, so it tightens things up, and it feels wonderful when you're done. It's just, but the thing that really impressed me is that it took me back plenty of time, a long time ago, remembering the barbershops of when I was a kid growing up. Clay's barbershop was right across the street. Savino's was maybe 5 or 6 blocks down the street. And between the two of them, that's where my dad and I got our haircuts. And they were places that folks went, that men went to gather, talk, swap stories, all that kind of stuff. But it really got me thinking about the good old days and the times that I miss. So stick around. I'll get into some of my favorite memories from being a kid growing up. I grew up in a small city in upstate New York. Some folks may who know me may know where that is, but it's the town's name or the city's name is Elmira, and that's where I grew up. And I can remember as a kid taking my first tricycle ride down to the local school. And the school was built, it was about the size of a city block that the whole thing was on. And it was raised up a little so that there was a basement, there was a first and a second floor in the old school building. That was number 9 school, or Hardy School. And I can remember as a preschooler, I mean before kindergarten, before any of that, that I rode my tricycle down there, and on the hill that went down, I was at the top, and I said, oh, this will be great, this will be fun. And down I went, boom, head over heels, smacked right into a tree. And one of the older kids kind of walked me home because I had gotten a bloody nose and I was kind of bruised up a little bit. But that was my first memory of school, was the schoolyard and my tricycle. When I was a kid, we used to just ride our bicycles all over the place. Be up early in the morning in the summertime when there was no school. Saturdays, that kind of a thing. And we were just, that's how you got around, is you hopped on your bicycle and you went to wherever you were going. It was the local playground. If it was down the street to see some friends, you could always tell where everybody was by all the bicycles that were that were standing out in front of whatever place that was. So that's how we got around. And first thing in the morning, right on the bicycles, and all day long that bicycle was with you, and it took you wherever the gang wanted to go. And we used to have all kinds of good times and good fun riding those bicycles around. And there were some very interesting neighborhoods that were in my hometown area. There was about 2 blocks, I guess, south of where I lived, was a street corner that had a bunch of houses, and there was a million kids. I mean, not literally, but if you ever needed to put together 2 baseball teams and have a baseball game or a football game or whatever, that was where you went. And there was one family had 16 kids from my age. At the time, I was probably 12, 10, 11, 12, down to babies. So one family had 16 kids. There was a couple older than us, but that's neither here nor there. There was another family right next door, I think, that had 12. And they had a big, huge side yard on a corner lot there, and that's where we would play little mini baseball down there, play football in the mud down there. And right across the street from the family with 12 kids was another family with 13. And these were just the bigger families. There was other families around that had 2 and 3, 4 kids, all that. Absolutely amazing how much different things are today. There was no set up play dates or anything like that for the kids. They just congregated wherever anybody was, and we went out and made our own fun. I don't think kids do that anymore. Nobody's doing that because they're so busy staring at their cell phones that nobody's interacting with each other. But I can remember the camaraderie, the friendships, the fun that we had, the adventures that we got into, the mischief from time to time that we got into. There was always an occasion to have a celebration. It was either somebody's birthday, it was a holiday, it was something. But anytime there was a holiday like Memorial Day or the 4th of July, we had enough kids to do our own parade. And the kids would all dress up, put on red, white, and blue, carry a little flag with you, pull in a wagon behind a big dog, creating floats out of a bunch of wagons that were roped together, and march up and down the streets and singing songs and playing musical instruments and beating on the drums and all that. And all the neighbors would come out and stand in the street, stand on the sidewalk and watch the kids do the parade up and down. And we'd only go for like 2 blocks, but pretty much everybody came out of their house just to watch. Every Memorial Day, every 4th of July. It was absolutely amazing. There were playgrounds very close by to where I grew up. They had swings, teeter-totters, seesaws, I guess some folks call them, where they do it that way. There was a wading pool there. There was basketball hoops. There was a drinking fountain that you bent over like that and pushed down on a button and the water squirted up. Yep. I'm not sure you can find those around too much anymore. Baseball diamond was there with a nice backstop and all that. And we had a lot of fun at that one. There was one, it was one a little bit west of me and one a little bit north of me, about the same distance away. Made friends with all the kids that would frequent there and always had a ball. But one of the cardinal rules that we had in that neighborhood was that when those street lights came on at night, you better be heading home. Because when those street lights came on, that was curfew basically, and you better be heading home. If it got past that and it was too dark, oh boy, mom and dad were out looking for you. But you could be gone all day from 8 in the morning until 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the evening. Didn't matter, bingo. But if the street lights came on and you weren't heading down the street, they were out looking for you. And the neighbors took a role in making sure that the kids, if they got in mischief, making sure that the kids knew what was going on. Everybody knew each other, and everybody knew whose kid was whose. And I can remember we got into one of the neighbors' rhubarb patches, and fresh rhubarb tastes pretty good. And we were pulling up rhubarb stalks and chowing down on that, and there was a bunch of us around. Yep. Well, the lady happened to know my father, and she called and said, "Your son is eating my rhubarb, and I don't like it. You better come and get him." So she came out and she said, "I just called your father." Anyway, everybody knew everybody, and everybody cared about everybody, and everybody knew what was right and what was wrong. And it's so much different than what I see going on today. I've been living in this neighborhood for 20 years where we are right now, and I know the neighbor next door by name. We've been there, they've been here, they're good people. That's it. I wave at the people that live across the street and down and around the corner, but I don't know them. I don't know their names. And I've tried to get to know them, but they don't want to get too awful close. Boy, they don't want to share anything with you. So once you get that vibe that, hey, I don't want it, you just stay away. So that's kind of what's going on with that. And it's funny that a trip to the barber shop can kind of trigger all these memories. It is truly amazing. I remember the Fuller brush man. He would come to the house on occasion. He was wounded at Pearl Harbor. He was missing part of his hand. And he would come and sell us brushes. And I think I've still got one down in my workshop that we got from the Fuller brush man. But he took that job. It was a second job for him. He took that job to earn enough and save enough money so that he could go to the Pearl Harbor reunion in Pearl Harbor. I think it was the 25th anniversary. So that's how long ago that was. I can remember Schornsteimer's Dairy. They had a horse-drawn dairy carriage that had all the milk and milk bottles and stuff like that in it. There was an old man that used to drive that horse-drawn carriage, and he'd pull up to his regular route and get out, take out milk bottles, set them on people's porches, collect whatever money that was there for last week's delivery, and back on the horse, and off he went, back on the carriage, and the horse would do all the work. He didn't service my particular area, but we did have home delivery milk. We'd get 2 or 3 or I think 4 quarts whenever they would stop by. and they were in glass jars. They put them in this little insulated, kind of a chrome-looking aluminum foil box that sat out on the front step, and we'd put the empties in there after you washed them out, and he'd take the empties out and put full ones in there, and there'd be an exchange of monetary value back and forth, but that was pretty special back then. Try to get something like that done around here today, never happened. Because the neighbors all knew you, you knew enough to stay out of trouble. And I think that made a big difference in the lives of all the folks that grew up in that wonderful little neighborhood. I'd really like to hear from you, my loyal viewers and subscribers. What fond memories do you have as a kid growing up in whatever small town, big town, whatever? Do you have fond memories, and how much do you think things have changed? This is the Prepared Suburbanite reminding you to be prepared always, and I'll see y'all on the next video.